Good day, guys, and welcome to a tutorial on how to install mrtx and also how to fix the COM port problem. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to type in the following words inside of the browser, which is my robot time. And once you've searched it for it, you would come across the first link, which is home my robot time. Now you're going to want to click on this one. If it's not on the top, you may just want to scroll down a little bit to search for it and then click on it. Now, once you've clicked on it, you're going to get three options, which is Korea, China, and IYRC. We're just going to click on the Korean option because that's the one we want to go to. Now, once you're there, you can either translate the page or you can just head straight to download. All right. So once you click on download, you're going to want to click on the one that says mrtx from the options. It's the first one in the top right corner. Well, the last one in the top right corner. So basically, it's the last option. And once you click on the mrtx, you're gonna want to scroll all the way to the bottom. Now, once you're at the bottom, you'll come across the option 8. So this is basically if you want to download mrtx, the application itself. You click on that option, and it would take you to the download for mrtx. Now, the version you're downloading is mrtx 3.2.0, right? And once you press download, which is in the top upper right corner, it will take you to this link or this page which says download the application. Right? It's just because the file is too big that I can't scan it, so they just tell you this with certain files. But it's okay to download it. Um, Once you press on download anyway, you're prompted to save the file somewhere on your device. Now, in my case, I downloaded and saved it on my desktop, so I'm not going to save it again this time. So you guys can save it either in your desktop, your documents, or your downloads. But just make sure when you're saving it, it's easy for you to find again so you can do the next step. All right. So once you've downloaded that, the next thing you're going to want to download is the option 7, which is the COM port recognition error. So this is basically going to fix the problem you normally have with your COM port. So you just got to download this one and you'll be able to use it. Right. So we're going to download this as well. The links for both options will be provided. So you guys don't have to worry about, oh, if you couldn't get the link on where it is. So you'll get the link when with the video as well. Now for this one, you're just gonna download everything. So same option again, you press the download in the upper right corner. Then we take it to a new page where they tell you download anyway. You can just press on that option. And you're gonna want to save this in the same place you saved your mrtx. All right. The reason for that is because it becomes easier for you to do the installation process for both of them later on. So I've already downloaded this, so I'm just gonna press on the X. But I'm just gonna show you guys what I mean by saving it. So I've already downloaded the version of it and I saved it on my desktop. So I'm just gonna save this there and I'm gonna add the number 2 to this one so it doesn't overwrite the original. I'll press save. And once it's finished downloading, you can be able to go and extract both the mrtx application and the COM port fix. So we're going to look at the mrtx first. For those who want to do the fix instead of installing the whole program, you can just basically do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to extract. So let me delete all of these here first. Yeah, so you're basically going to extract the program or the file that you've downloaded. So in my case, I have 2 of them, which is 2, and I have the original file. So I'm going to extract the new one. So you basically press on extract all. So you right click and then you press extract all. And it's going to extract everything for you in the same location. So I'm extracting it on my desktop, and I've extracted it into a folder which has the same name as the zip file itself. I'll go into the folder and I'll press on setup. Now, the setup will allow you to install the COM port fix. I don't recommend you installing this before you install mrtx, all right? Because sometimes it may give you a little glitch or error in certain cases. But if you already have mrtx installed, you can skip the installation of the mrtx program again and just go straight into this one, which is to install the COM ports. So I'm going to go with the mrtx installation. So just like I did with the COM port fix folder or zip file, I've already extracted my mrtx application. So you're going to extract that, and it's going to be in a folder in the same location where the zip file is located. And once you've opened the folder, you just need to click on the application, and it would start up the installation process for you. Along the way, it will ask you for admin rights to install the application. So you just need to press yes for that, and it would install the application. I should mention, in the case of a first installation on a computer, what would happen is that it would actually require you to do a little more downloading for a few more files. You just need to press download for them. So you just press download. It usually is the first option. You press download, and it would download all the other drivers and install them on your device for you. So I'll press install. I just got the prompt for the administrative rights. I don't know if you guys would have seen it, but just remember, when you're doing the installation, they're going to prompt you to basically allow them to install the application. And once you've given them that rights, or you press yes, it would install the application, and then you can press finish. Now, once we've installed the application itself, we're going to go straight into the COM port phase. So we're just going to close this folder, and we're going to open the folder with our COM port fix. So we're going to use the file name setup. This is first for me. So if you're running this for a first time, you won't see what I just saw. If you're running it for a second time, maybe you had a problem with when you run it the first time, so you're running a second time, um, you may notice it tells you that option. All right. Now, whenever you're installing, you want to make sure that so let me go back all the way to the start all over again. So once you press on the setup option, it would take you through the basic installation steps. Now, you're going to want to make sure, I'm going to say this very clearly, so you're going to want to make sure that the tick or the blue for the install USB to serial adapter. Now, this is basically your COM ports, right? So once you've installed this, you're now going to not have, or you're not going to have that pop-up anymore with your COM port not appearing for your mrtx board. All right, so you press next once you make sure it's ticked. In my case, it's already ticked, so I'll press next, and it will start up the installation. It would require you to give it the permission to install. Once you give it that permission, it would do the installation for you. I think my serial port wouldn't install because I've already installed it. So what it would probably do is ask me if I want to either upgrade, fix, or uninstall, or maybe it's gonna say you already installed, no need for this. So yeah, so if you've already have it installed, then it's probably not going to install itself. But if it does install again, it's just going to rewrite or remove the original one and just put back the same version again. So as you can see here, it says already existing install instant detected, meaning that I already have it. So in this case, I can just press cancel. All right, so I can press cancel. because I already have it installed, so it's not gonna ask me to install it. But it did give me the options to install again or to cancel. So I cancel it. In your case, you're gonna want to go through the whole process. You're gonna press next and just install it straight through until it says finish. Once you've done that, you're gonna come back to the installing MRT setup. And once it's finished, it would then tell you to just close. Now with this, we can then go back to our mrtx application. And if you notice, mine says COM port 3. So in some cases, when some people open their application, they would notice they already had a COM port in. Um, like COM port 3, in some cases, it's your default COM port. So if you plug a USB out from that side, you plug it in on another part of the computer and it still says COM port 3, you probably, yeah, you're probably going to need to install the fix, right? That's if you open up the application without installing the fix. You see that, you're probably going to need to install the fix. So this is with my USB plugged in on one side of my computer. I'm going to plug it in on another side to see a different COM port. If I were to click back again, it's gone. All right, so I'm going to plug it in on the other side. Let's see what it says. So it comes back at COM port 3. So I'm guessing mine doesn't really change. It just stays as COM port 3. So just in case, if you plug it out, all right, so I should mention this. So if you plug it out and the COM port disappears, it's definitely working. If you plug it out and it still says the COM, then it's just a default COM and your port isn't picking up the actual USB itself. I should have mentioned that first. My bad, guys. So just remember, if you plug it out and the COM port is still there, then it's probably the default COM port and it's not recognizing USB. If you plug it in and it shows up again, like it disappears after you plug it out, and you plug it in again and it shows up, then it's probably the USB showing up. Right. So in my case, my computer doesn't show a different COM port for when I plug it into a different part, it just shows it as the same number, COM3. So if you plug it in and it shows up as one COM, right? So it's any COM between COM1 to COM8. So if you get COM7 when you plug it in first and then you plug it out, it disappeared, and then you plugged it back in, it appeared as COM7 again. When you plug it in somewhere else on the computer, then it definitely works. All right. If you plug it out, but the COM is still there, even if you click on it and then you click off and it's still there, then it's probably just the default COM showing up and it's not picking up your USB. So that's when you're gonna want to either do one or two things. You're gonna want to restart your computer if you've already installed the COM fix, right? Because in some cases they would require you to restart your computer. And if it's not that you don't already have the fix installed, then you're probably going to want to install it. All right. So with this, let's just add a simple command to our board, have it build it, and see if it works. So I'm going to put this to the highest value, which is 20. I'm going to press OK. And then I'm just going to build. So it says build succeeded and then download. So I'm just going to turn my board on. So there's two ways you can download with the mrtx and the normal MRT Blackboard, which is the downloadable one. You can have it off until you press download and it asks you to, press the reset button. You can turn the board on at that moment and it would just start up the download process for the board collecting the program. Or you can have the board on and then press the reset button and that will allow you to download the program. So either method works, just depends on which one you're going to use at that time. All right. Another thing I should address with the whiteboard, because some people may not actually know this, right? And they have trouble figuring out how to actually use a remote control with the whiteboard. Now, the whiteboard has the RC plug on it, but it doesn't have the switches you would find on the blackboard or the programmable blackboard to switch to the channel you want to use. Now, the whiteboard doesn't do that, doesn't have the switches. Instead, what it does is that it uses a actual code block to set the channel. So you would find this in your flow section. So let me go all the way back up to the top. So you'd find this in your flow section at the bottom, and it's just basically roam set. So you drag it out, or basically ch, you drag it out, and you're gonna want to drop this as your first block. And the reason I'm saying that you want to drop it as your first block is that you're gonna want to drag everything else and drop it directly on that block, right? Um, yeah, it's a strange thing that I don't know why it works that way, but usually if you drop things like, let's say, above it or outside of that room palm, right? What happens is that it won't actually pick it up when you're pressing. So let's say you drop the remote control outside, all right, right? Or you didn't drop it on the room palm. I'm gonna put the up here. So I basically dropped my up control on the roam com right beneath it. So you want everything to go beneath it. So once you have it beneath it, it would recognize it once you press your control. But if you have it above it, what happens is that whenever you press the controller, it may not work. All right. Some people may get lucky in that they can put it anywhere in the program and it would recognize it. But in the case of, let's say you have it at the bottom, it may not work. Right? I'm just saying it may not work. But if you have it at the top, which is guaranteed, it will work every time because it's going to be the first thing that is run or received whenever any mode starts up. It's going to pick up the controllers and everything when you press on them once it's set on channel 8 or roam control 8. All right. So just remember, if you want to add in a channel, you go to the bottom to your flow section and you grab the CH block, which is the red block in the flow section, right? You grab it and you drag it in on program start. And once you do, you just choose the channel you want. So it's from 1 to 8 as usual. So I already set the first one to 1. I'm just going to put this as 5 for an example again. As you can see, it comes in, and then you can drag your remotes on it and then continue coding like normal. All right. And with this, we've solved the problem of the COM port for the mrtx, and we've covered something most people actually have a little problem with, which is the control aspect in getting to use a control with the mrtx. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Remember, if you plug out your USB and you click on COM and the port number is still there, it's probably a default port because you've already plugged in the USB, but it's still showing up even when you click off, then it's probably the default port comp. And this is only if you've not installed the fix. If you install the fix and it's still showing up, you just want to restart your computer and that should fix the problem. If you haven't installed the fix and you're seeing that, you're gonna want to install the fix. Um, but before you actually, restart your computer, just try downloading and building, and if it works, then it probably means it's just a glitch in the program or it just leaves the COM port there. So it's a lot of things, but for safety of it, if you don't have the fix installed, just install it. If you have the fix installed, restart your computer and it should work fine. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching the tutorial. And I hope you find it useful to you guys. Have a nice one.